And welcome back to New Jersey Power and Politics. I'm Jim McQueenie. Our next guest, look at political players in New Jersey with a gifted analytical eye. What's happening beyond the words. Psychologist Dr. Bart Rossi is with us to talk about some of the figures who have loomed large in the state this year, in the political world anyway. Thanks for being here. We always talk on the show with the political profiling, I guess might be the word description here, of Governor Christie through the thing. Why he did this, what he meant by this, all this type of thing. Like, well, let's move the governor off to the side here for a second. Let's take a look at the Democrats on here. We haven't really done that through the course of the year and had some look back at them here. Maybe we start, let's say the Assembly Speaker, Sheila Oliver, right now. What's her leadership style, and what's your analysis of how she...
Well, I really like her. I think she's a little different. She looks very serious-minded initially and very thoughtful, more deliberate. But she reminds me of the person who, when the person walks in the room, she kind of lights it up. When she starts speaking, she has a way of projecting her personality and projecting it very well in a feminine way, but a professional way. And it's very entertaining and lively. And I see a very pleasant, engaging personality with her.
Is she tough enough?
Oh, I think she's tough enough. Yeah, when she has to be, she looks tough. She actually presents herself with a look that's stern and thoughtful. She can be tough enough, but very, very pleasant person.
Well, the entire legislature goes into re-election in new districts starting in 2011, and there's some talk, you know, maybe it's a little bit of mutinous political talk, a little bit that they may try have a coup in the Assembly to sort of replace her as a leader here for whatever reasons. Just talk at this point. How do you think she reacts to a coup based on your profiling, your psychological profile?
I think she can handle herself. I mean, the backroom politics is something else. I won't go into that. But in terms of handling herself, I think she's very adept, personable, capable. She seems like she knows everything about all of the issues. I think she's very reliable for the Democrats. And I think she just comes across as someone who's comfortable in her own skin.
Well, she needs some mathematical skills, because to stop a coup for the Assembly leadership positions here, you just have to count the majority in your own caucus here. So you got to make sure you got that count right to stay Speaker. Let's go to the Senate President, Steve Sweeney, now. Probably the next most known person after the governor here, especially in 2011. 2010, excuse me.
2010, yeah. He's a former iron worker. And I think he comes across kind of like that. He looks very tough, serious-minded. I don't think he's as fluid as perhaps as other folks in projecting his personality. But he seems very comfortable with who he is. And he looks stern, strong, decisive, and a kind of person who can make a decision. But he also projects that little bit of an edge where he can make a compromise when he wants to.
Well, maybe, you know, we saw, you were sitting in the studio when we were looking at the political analysis and among Democrats saying the Democrats were laying down, if you will, for Chris Christie in this case. The thing is the fact that you say you can make compromises, Steve Sweeney, maybe making too much compromise and wasn't really using the force that you say he has?
No, I think he realizes that in this first year of Christie, he ought to make some compromises. That would be smart for him and for the Democrats. And he's making the right choices in his mind, and he's projecting that he's being decisive, making compromises where he needs to make the compromise, and I think he's making himself look pretty good in that regard. I think he's projecting an aura, an image, or a persona, if you will, of a person who's really pretty tough-minded and decisive.
Well, let's go to someone who's not in the leadership anymore, Dick Cody, in the Senate right now, and he's a former governor. He went back to be a senator at this thing. When you analyze Dick Cody, I mean, what do you think?
Well, he's one of my favorites. I really like him because he projects humor into his personality, perhaps better than anyone in New Jersey. He reminds me a little bit about Huckabee on the other side. You know, we were critiquing them. Cody knows how to make fun of himself, knows how to make fun of New Jersey as a Jersey guy, and he's very smooth, very fluid on all the issues. And he's really very professional in how he handles himself.
Well, we'll see, by the way, in June, because he told me the other day that his book, a book about everything that's going on in the legislature, is coming out in May and June, and I asked, is it a tell-all? And he says, I'll tell you what the title is, but I'm not going to tell you what else is in the book here. So we'll see if he can keep that edge. One last thing, one serious note here. With the Senate passing the Don't Ask, Don't Tell gays and military bill here, you have some observations on that.
I do. I think this is really just an issue about behavior. And if you look at the military, they have codes of behavior. And I think whether you're heterosexual, homosexual, people will respond and they will be professional soldiers. I think this is an issue that will just, we'll move past this, and it will not be a big issue going forward. I think gays can handle themselves professionally, heterosexuals can handle themselves professionally, and it's really a matter of going along with the codes of behavior that exist in the military, and that will resolve this issue. I think people who are against gays in the military in any way, it's from a personal standpoint. They can't relate to this, therefore they want to be negative or go down that road. And I think that's really pretty wrong and kind of shallow in their thinking.
Okay, so you think the political development here is a good thing?
I think it's a very good thing. I think most people would agree that it's a good
Okay,
thing.
all right, very good. Dr. Bart Rossi, again, with his analysis of the Democrats this time around, in all
Thank you.
fairness, right?
Right.
All right, very good. So that is going to do it for this week on New Jersey Paramount Politics. I'm Jim McQueenie. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.